I'm the rarest personality type. No, I'm the rarest. But wait, I am the rarest. There's a bit of a discussion going around right now about which is the rarest personality type, and Frank James just released a video alluding that INFJ is no longer the rarest personality type. But is he wrong? If you don't know who Frank James is, definitely check out his channel and I'll leave a link in the description. He absolutely has a lot of valuable information over there. When he released his video, me, being the super nerd that I am, put everything else on hold to investigate. I always want to make sure I'm providing the most accurate and up-to-date information to you, and today I'm going over the results of my investigation. I'm going to answer the questions, is Frank James wrong, and is INFJ still the rarest personality type? Let's get into it. Welcome to Success for Breakfast, where I'm serving up brain food made simple. Hit that subscribe button to get daily videos created to give you the tools to level up your life. In his video, he referenced a couple of websites that he got his information from. Keep in mind, you can find all sorts of different numbers all over the place. Right now, go to Google and search for what are the percentages of the Myers-Briggs personality types in 2021. You'll get all sorts of different results. He referenced two sites specifically, Psychology Junkie and MBTI Manual Supplement, which are both excellent sites and have metric tons of valuable information, and also claim to have the most up-to-date data. Finding solid information can be daunting and challenging, but based on the websites he referenced, here are the results. This new data was derived from results from 2018, whereas the old data is from around the year 2000 according to the websites. I'm not going to go through all 16 personality types and where they fall on the list. However, I am going to highlight a few of the more interesting things I found during my investigation, and we'll obviously find out if INFJ remains at the top of the list. Let's start with the 4 letters and the percentages associated with each paradox. Of course, when I say paradox, I'm referring to anything with 2 alternatives. So let's take a quick look at introverts versus extroverts. According to the new figures, 61.2% of people are introverts, while 38.8% are extroverts, and that's a 10.5% difference. As a result, it's intriguing to discover that more people now identify as introverts than they did 20 years ago. The next one involves intuition and sensing, or how we process information. Sensing entails examining the facts as well as what is observable and improvable. Intuition looks at the large picture, the big ideas, and the overall picture of what's going on. This one has changed, although not as significantly as the others. 68.5% choose sensing, while 31.5% favor intuition according to the new figures. So I'm seeing a slight change towards more people favoring intuition, but the majority still prefer sensing. Then there's F or T, thinking or feeling, which determines how we make decisions. Is it rational thinking or emotional and value-based feeling? This is by far the largest swing in the new numbers. Previously, 59.8% of people favored emotion, while 40.2% chose thinking. This has shifted nearly 12 points, with now 47.9% preferring feeling and 52.1% preferring thinking. Previously, the results revealed that the majority of people were feelers, but now the opposite is true. The majority of people test as thinkers, which actually surprised me a little bit. The last one is J or P, which stands for judging or perceiving. The judgers are a little more organized and well prepared. The perceivers are a little more free-spirited. With only a 1.6% shift over time, this one has remained basically unchanged. Judgers make up 52.5% of the population, while perceivers make up 47.5%. So how does this translate to the actual MBTI personality types? With the new data, the most common personality types didn't have a huge shift or anything crazy really happen. Most have moved up or down or swapped places with each other. There is one interesting note, however. What I'm observing is that there has been a distinct shift from SF types dominating the top places last time to ST types dominating this time. And of course, given what I talked about earlier where I saw a significant shift from old numbers indicating that most people prefer emotion to new statistics indicating that most people prefer thinking, this makes sense. The first intuitive personality type, the ENFP, comes in at number 5 most common, up from number 7, making up 7.5% of the population. As a result, the ENFP is the most common intuitive personality type. The next intuitive personality type appearing on the list is INFP, becoming the 7th most common personality type, accounting for 6.4% of the population. The INFP has risen from 9th to 7th place on the list of personality types. Again, this makes sense since we have seen that there was a slight shift in people favoring intuition over sensing in the data. On another interesting note, this doesn't involve the intuitive type, but the ESFJ is ranked 8th on the list, accounting for 6.3% of the population. This type has dropped to the bottom of the list the most. It used to be the 2nd most popular type, but it has now dropped to 8th place, which is pretty shocking. The next 2 spots didn't really change all that much, which brings us to the 6 most rare personality types. And to no surprise, they are all intuitive types. If you've gotten some value from this video so far, show your appreciation and hit that like button. That's going to signal YouTube that you think other people could benefit from this video too. The INTP, which accounts for 4.5% of the population, is still number 11 on the list. However, the INTJ is at number 12 on the list. With only 3.1% of the population, this has risen from number 14 on the list. The ENTP is the 13th most common personality type, accounting for only 3% of the population. So if you've been paying attention, we're down to the final 3. The ENFJ, ENTJ, and INFJ are the 3 personality types left. Will the INFJ retain its title as the rarest personality type, or will another take its place? It's also worth noting that it makes no difference. It doesn't imply that one type is superior to another. It simply implies that this is the number of people who tested as this kind on this one particular test. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are a ton of websites all claiming to have the most up-to-date data. If you're someone who just wants to brag about being the rarest personality or something to that effect, I think you might be missing the whole point of what knowing and understanding your personality really is supposed to be all about. So take it for what it is, a ranking that is fluid and subject to change at any time. The INFJ is ranked 14th in this particular poll, with a percentage of 2.9%. Previously, it was the most uncommon personality type. It had previously been estimated at about 1.5% of the population, so the distance between the polls has nearly doubled in the last 20 years or so. So the INFJ has been dethroned, but who did it? We're down to our final 2 types. The only ones remaining are ENTJ and ENFJ if you've been keeping track. So which one of those 2 personality types has been identified as the most uncommon? According to the Myers-Briggs Company's official poll from 2018, the ENTJ personality type is the most uncommon, accounting for 1.8% of the population. Interestingly, they were previously listed as 1.8% of the population in previous data, but they were ranked 15th. Of course, this leaves the ENFJ as the 2nd rarest personality type at number 15, down from number 13 the previous time around. So was Frank James wrong? Not according to this particular poll on this particular website. However, it is important to note that this data is subjective and ever-changing. I believe being the rarest is a moniker that very few people actually care about but may find interesting. Knowing that you are one of the rarest personality types can be an advantage because then you know that you simply aren't just a weirdo or an outcast and that there are actual people like you out there. So whether you're the rarest or one of the rarest personalities is simply a matter of how you say it. It shouldn't have any real effect on your life or your success. What do you think of this new data? Does it even matter? Let me know in the comments. You've got this, now go get it done. Grab yourself some more brain food to help you level up your life and click on one of the videos on your screen right now.